you have interviewed and worked with so many spiritual teachers over the past decades. How has doing that, working with them through the years, supported your spiritual unfoldment or complicated it?
hmm It's done both, as I think your question points to. The complicated part is people that I respect and love and really think have discovered terrific things contradict each other. So it's a little bit like, well, this person said that and that person said
Hmm.
this. And when I look at it from their eyes, that makes a whole lot of sense. And when I look at that from their eyes, that makes a whole lot of sense. But they're actually saying completely different things. What do you do with that, Tammy?
Yeah,
And I've just come to this place where I'm like, they're both true from different perspectives and from different
sure.
angles. And somehow I can let that be okay. Like, I don't
Hmm.
need to bring it into some type of perfect, coherent resolution for me. I can
Yeah,
kind of give it space and see if you make a map that's big enough, that's multi layered enough, and multi-dimensional enough, and expansive, both statements from these different perspectives can be true. So that also gets to how it's benefited me, which is
yeah,
it's pushed my own viewpoint to be
sure.
so expansive that I can include and respect the intelligence of different perspectives.
Hmm. Yeah, it's all facets on the diamond of reality, and it depends on what facet is being shown, and teachers all work differently. So you've found this ability to hold paradox.
Yeah, to hold paradox, that's a good way to say it. And not just different facets, but also sort of different altitudes. And so you
Ah,
get,
yes.
so it's not just like a
Yeah,
faceted diamond that's in one space or one plane. It
gotcha.
it, it
Yeah.
has to get a lot more dimensional than that. And so
Hmm.
certain people's perspective or so many, it's such a different altitude or distance from
Yeah.
looking at it that it appears very different.
Yeah, I mean, the view from the first floor or the third floor of the building is different from the view of the 12th floor or whatever. And so it's all true at some level, but so maybe the seeking for ultimate truth, were you ever seeking for an ultimate truth that you could pin?
Well, actually, it never made sense to me that there would
Yeah,
be.
me neither.
And
Yeah.
I was a little bit like, really? That's, first of all, it's coming out of the mouth of a human being who not that long ago was a monkey in a tree. And they're going to be explaining the ultimacy of this tremendous,
Yeah, thank
vast
you.
universe. Like, let's
Right.
just hold it lightly. And
Let's
so
hold it lightly. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that has always been the case for me. But, and this is why I like the name, sounds true, because
Mhm.
obviously I'm auditorily more sensitive than
Yeah.
other channels in my being. When something sounds true, it feels a certain way inside me.
Mhm.
Like I have a sense of my stomach relaxes. I feel like, huh, that like it makes sense. It's like a key that goes into a lock and turns, and it's like I feel the turning inside of me of
Mhm.
fit. That fits. That makes sense at whatever level
Yeah.
it's being spoken.
Yeah. And I'm glad you bring up intuition because it does seem like you've been listening to your intuition, tuning into your intuition this whole time. You had an interesting experience with some land that you bought,
Yeah,
where that was a bit of a mystical, a punctuated experience. Can you share a little bit about that?
yeah. I mean, the experience I had starting sounds true, and this experience of purchasing this land in British Columbia are the two times when I felt like the universe said, okay, we're going to have to make this really clear to Tammy so she does this thing. And I say that because it feels like, and when I say the universe, I don't know,
Yeah.
but it feels like something outside of my normal locus of functioning, like intervened and said, pay attention, girl. You're
Mm-hmm.
you may la, 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 la,
Hey,
pay
kid.
attention
Yeah.
exactly right now. And so this was a time when I was up on Cortez Island, which is a day's journey north of Vancouver, and I was recording with a Sounds True author who has a home there. It's very hard to pin down. And there was a small studio, uh, and there we are at the small studio, and it's like a attached yurt to a woman's house. And she comes down and she says, "I have to tell you that your engineer is going to be 4 hours late because he not only missed the first ferry, but now he's missing the second. And
Oh,
so you're going to have to wait for 4 hours." And I
uh-huh.
was like, okay. And this author that I was recording with is a very bright gentleman who uh, doesn't sit around for 4 hours and just
Hmm.
do nothing. But we don't have any cell phone reception. I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna like have him stay relaxed, calm, and happy during this whole period of time? So I said to the woman who owned the house, like, maybe we'll come in and have a cup of tea and we can
Yeah.
talk for a while. And she said, let me show you this land project that I'm working on. We'll go for a walk. And I'm like, oh, thank God, this is going to take a while and that'll be terrific. Let's go for a long walk. Let's keep walking.
Let's go for a three and
And
a half hour walk.
exactly, exactly, which I whisper to her, like, make this
Yeah, come on.
exactly. So we're walking. She's talking to me about how she is trying to save 200 acres of land from being clear cut. And in order to, it's her neighboring property. And in order to do this, they're creating a land cooperative where they have these different building sites and they're going to protect the forest. And there's going to be an eco village with lower income housing and then these bluff sites that look out at Desolation Sound and waterfront
Mm.
sites right on the water. And I'm like, okay, this sounds very visionary, interesting. It's taking us a lot of time to talk about it. Great. I'm really into it. And we walk up to one of the bluff sites, and I'm just passing the time and having this conversation. I'm looking around at the beautiful trees, and something odd happens. And once again, it started as a feeling, a felt
Hmm.
feeling, which is the land underneath me is like if you ever watched people like pull a tablecloth from
Yeah.
under a full setting or like
Yeah.
fix a carpet under furniture and they like pull it out. So it felt like the land was kind of coming up like in a wave form. And I was like, what's going on? And then the waveform tapped me on the shoulder and it was physical. I felt this like tap on the shoulder. And I was like, things are getting weird. What's happening here? I have no idea. It's all happening pretty quickly,
Hmm.
but I was like, this is
Yeah.
all really strange.
Yeah.
And because this like mossy green carpet is now touching my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. And then I heard these words, you belong to me.
Wow.
And I was like, that's really weird. That's really weird.
Really
And I
weird.
was like, normally people think that land belongs to them.
Yeah.
But this land just told me that it believes that I belong to it.
Mm.
And so after this happened, I mentioned to the woman who was showing us around, how much will this property cost right here to buy this particular building site? And she shared that it would be approximately $250,000, $250,000. And at this time in my life, that was a whole lot of money that I didn't have. And I had been the kind of person that had always dealt with spend the amount of money you have, even not getting a mortgage. I had a home
Mm.
in Boulder, a modest home in Boulder that I owned that didn't have a mortgage on it because I wanted
That's
to
good.
just pay for it,
Yeah.
and I bought it when I was in my 20s. And I said to her, well, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to take a mortgage out on my house in Boulder so I have enough money and I'm going to buy it. And I
Wow.
decided right there on the spot.
Wow. Right there on the spot.
Yep.
That was 4 hours well spent, I guess.
It was, as the author said, what an impulse buy. And